Japanese recap. Listening to and reading lots and lots of real Japanese that's understandable is super important for getting better. So I wrote down some lines from Mel and Watson's Switch Sports collab from whenever ago. I got someone to copy what Mel said, but slower, to make the real thing easier to understand. I'm also going to go over reading words to get familiar with some kanji, because being illiterate sucks ass. Since Watson likes Mel, I'm hoping if she ever sees this, it helps her understand Mel better. Heads up, I'll be saying all the Japanese words in an American accent, so make sure to only pay attention to pronunciation when Japanese people are speaking. Let's start off by listening to Mel's intro at full speed.
コンカプ魔界の天才ヴァンパイアホロラブ1期生の夜空メルです。
Next is the slower one.
コンカプ魔界の天才ヴァンパイアホロライブ1期生の夜空メルです。
That was probably still a bit too fast, but if you listen to it over and over again, you'll get used to it. Same with the full speed one. That being said, let's start from the top and see what's what.
コンカプ
Konkapu is part of Mel's aisatsu. That's the greeting and goodbye catchphrases Japanese vtubers use on stream. Usually it's oha something for ohayo, kon something for konnichiwa and konbanwa, and otsu something for otsukare. Otsukare means a lot of things, but here we can take it to mean goodbye. Let's look at some more examples of Mel's aisatsu.
おはカプ Good morning コンカプこんばんはお疲れ様おつかぷおつかぷ様でした
Mel's something is kapu, which is a Japanese sound effect for biting, since she's a vampire. So kapu is Mel's way of saying hello and goodbye. That's aisatsu. Let's look at the next part.
魔界の天才ヴァンパイア
Yeah, Mel's from the underworld. Here's an artist's interpretation of where she used to live. Makai means underworld, demon world, or hell, it depends. Mel's bio says underworld, so we'll just go with that. Makaino means underworlds, with an apostrophe S. Tensai means genius, and vampire is vampire. If you're trying to read vampire up there, you're probably wondering, the fuck is that? That oo with quotes and a small a is va. It's part of the extended katakana. Just look them up as you run into them. I wouldn't recommend spending time memorizing them in advance. Names are a great way to run into extended katakana, and there's a bunch of names in Hololive. Kaela and Luna both have va in their names. The rest of the katakana and vampire are normal. Nice. Altogether, Makai no Tensai Vampire means Underworld's Genius Vampire. Let's see what's next.
ホロライブ1期生の
Hololive is Hololive. Ikisei, in the context of Hololive, is first gen, and Ikisei no is first gens, with an apostrophe S. Altogether, Hololive Ikisei no means Hololive first gens. There's a lot to say about this next part, so let's listen to it.
夜空メルです
Mel's last name, Yozora, is spelled with a kanji for night and a kanji for sky. And that's nice because Yozora literally means night sky. And now desu. What is desu? So apparently in every language there's two basic types of sentence. Action sentences and describing sentences. Action sentences are sentences where the main actor of the sentence does something. For example, the monkey climbs trees. What happens? The monkey climbs. Describing sentences are sentences where the main actor of the sentence is connected to some other thing or idea, like, the monkey is hairy. Note that there's no action in this sentence. Nothing happens. This sentence just connects the monkey to hairy. Real quick flashback to elementary school where we did Venn diagrams and stuff. Remember how everything inside the circle was in some specific category? That's basically how this connecting stuff works. Here, the word is doing an important job. The word is tells us that there's a category of things that are hairy, and the monkey is one of them. Grammar enthusiasts have a special name for words that people use to categorize. They call them copulas. It's the word that couple comes from. So in English, the word is is one of the copulas. There's a bunch of copulas. Connecting the dots here, desu is one of these categorizing words too. Desu is a Japanese copula. Japanese has a bunch of copulas too. It tells us that there's some specific category of things, and the main actor is one of them too. In my experience in high school and stuff, the most I ever heard of this was state of being verbs, and I didn't even know the word copula till way after I started learning Japanese. Categories can get, and usually are, super specific, like things that I left at school last week when it was raining outside and completely forgot about until my mom reminded me 2 days ago. Categorizing things is fundamental to human language because knowing what categories something belongs to tells you a lot about it. If I tell you that a spiper is a plant, then you know that it grows in the ground, photosynthesizes, needs light, needs water, has roots, has seeds, and so on, because you know that stuff about plants, and you know that a spiper is a plant too. Spipers are not real plants. So when we see desu or another copula, we know that that sentence is a describing sentence. When you take away the details, describing sentences reduce down to something is this, or something is that, or something looks like this. Here's a real example with Mel. Here, she's saying that even though she's a vampire, she's not a fan of blood. Listen for the desu.
血は苦手ですよ。
Grammatically speaking, there are people that don't like blood. The copula desu tells us that Mel is one of those people. Back to Mel's intro, there's a desu, so we know that this is a describing sentence, and the category is Makai no Tensai Vampire Hololive Ikisei no Yozora Mel, or in English, genius vampires from the underworld in Hololive First Gen who are named Yozora Mel. Yup, that's a real specific group. Desu tells us that the person talking to us right now is a member of that group. And Makai no Tensai Vampire Hololive Ikisei no Yozora Mel Desu means this, the person currently speaking to you, is the underworld's genius vampire, Hololive First Gen's Yozora Mel.
コンカプ魔界の天才ヴァンパイアホロラブ1期生の夜空メルです。
Now you know half of what desu does, and you've seen it in action for reals. Reading words with kanji. I have 2 bits of bad news. 1. Kanji look like scribbles. 2. Kanji are made of mini kanji called radicals that look like scribbles. What to do? Make it so the radicals, the mini kanji, look less like scribbles. The goal is to make kanji and their building blocks recognizable while learning Japanese words people actually use. Some radicals look like katakana. This is good. The rest we'll name ourselves based on the way the radical looks or more memorable kanji. So I can recognize the kanji, but how do I read it? When a kanji gets used in a word, it kind of gets locked into one way to read it. Here's an example in English. Let's look at the letters O-U-G-H. How do you read this? The answer is, it depends. In rough, you say uff. In through, you say oo. In do, you say o. Each of these words locks in a correct way to read it. You can't say ru or ro, only rough. You can't say thruff or throw, only through. You can't say duff or do, only do. So now, if you were learning English and you didn't know this word, instead of being completely lost, you'd have a manageable list of educated guesses. It's the same with Japanese. Every word you learn helps you read words with the same kanji, and even better, you'll start to gain a feel for the right reading as you keep going. First word, aisatsu, the hello and goodbye catchphrases. Aisatsu's I. For the radicals we have hand, it's flipping you off, do you see it? The katakana mu, another reason to memorize the katakana, and arrow. The word for arrow is this kanji. Aisatsu satsu. Radicals here we have hand again, middle finger, river, wavy lines like water, and the katakana ta. Now it seems like the kanji in aisatsu only really show up in the word aisatsu, so we'll skip the words with the same readings part. Makai, that's underworld or demon world. Makai's ma. Radicals, I call this one the garage radical, because I learned it from one of the words for garage. It's a car, and then a car parked in a garage. 2 trees. This is the kanji for tree. And oni. This is the kanji for an oni, a Japanese ogre. It's complicated, but when you forget, just remember Ayame is an oni too, and her name is spelled with the same kanji. The ma in Makai means like witch or demon. Try reading these words.
魔女
Witch,
悪魔
devil, or demon.
邪魔
And something that's in your way. Makai's Kai. Radicals, rice field. This grid shape looks like a square rice field. This one looks like a tent, so let's just go with that. If you have a better name, go for it. It just needs to mean something to you. The Kai in Makai means world. Try reading these words.
世界
World,
人間界
human world, as opposed to a demon world or a spirit world. Tensai, genius. Tensai's 10. The 10 in Tensai means heaven, like the place. Kanata's an angel, so they spell her name with this kanji too. Try reading these words.
天使
Angel,
天国
paradise,
天敵
natural enemy or predator. Tensai's Sai. Radical here, it's like a hand again, but stretched out. The Sai in Tensai means ability. Try reading this word.
才能
The talent. Ikisei, first gen. Ikisei's E, radicals, it's a line. The E in Ikisei means the number 1 or whole. Try reading these words.
一生
Whole life,
一杯
a whole thing full of something,
一回
and one time. Ikisei's Ki, radicals here. We have cheese grater. There's like shreds of cheese coming out the bottom. And moon. This is the kanji for moon. The ki in Ikisei means like term or period. Try reading these words.
同期
Genmate,
楽器
semester,
定期的
and regularly. Ikisei's sei. For radicals, we have life. It's its own radical. Wow. The sei in Ikisei means life. Wow. Try reading these words.
先生
Teacher,
人生
life,
生物
living creature. Yozora, that's night sky. Yozora's yo. Radicals here, we have the flat hat, though I've seen some people call it a kettle lid, the katakana E, and the katakana ta. The yo in Yozora means night. Try reading this word.
真夜中
Middle of the night. Yozora Zora. Radicals here. The flat hat with the brim. The katakana ru and the katakana e. The Zora in Yozora means sky. Try reading these words.
大空
Big sky,
星空
starry sky,
寒空
and cold weather. Now here's a block of text. The goal is to find the words we just learned. Treat this like a word search. Here's the word bank. Pause the video till you find every word. Let me know how difficult that was in the comments. The only way to get better at reading is to read, and I want to put you in a position to succeed against a real challenge. See you in the next video.